Templar or Storm drops. But already the Lurkers down in the field, no detection to really support, and this is going to delay LzGamer's third expansion, maybe deny it altogether, and he's at risk of getting contained almost immediately here. Hopefully he'll have some Sidestorm to really follow this up. Going in for a counterattack with the Zealots actually backing off now that he's been spotted. Again, needs to be a little bit wary, a little bit careful, and I think he might get turned around, just contained by all of these Lurkers. Machine's starting to move that direction now. Needs to camp and hold this. Hopefully he has some Psystorms to work with. Looks like he's going to have 3 Psystorms. So if Machine doesn't spread this out well, he could be in trouble. Still no Observer out in the field. Trying to run away, make sure his Lurkers don't take any unnecessary damage. And it looks like the Templar flooding out a little bit. It looks like some troops kind of hang out in the background. I don't know if Drop's upgraded, but he is going to be able to kill some probes along this corner with that spot. That cannon not in range. Going to be able to get a lot of probe kills. Doesn't look like LzGamer's quite spotted it. 4 kills already. LzGamer already hurting economically. Hasn't been able to get up his third, and now his secondary is emptied as well. Has some troops just stranded out in the field. Doesn't have an observer alongside. Does have a shuttle, so with some Dark Templar, some High Templar. That is headed directly for the main, and let's see if Machine is going to be able to deal with this. This is nice. I like this maneuver by LZ actually. He's going to do a distractionary attack on the front door, so Machine's quite a bit distracted, and do the drop in the back corner. Let's see if Machine is going to be aware enough to kind of take care of this. 2 Dark Templar and a High Templar actually in there, so it's going to be an all-out economic onslaught. Dark Templar already starting to hit the main. Machine already losing three drones here, starting to pull back. Let's see if he can get so many kills with these Dark Templar, and this is exactly why Machine has a lot of problems against this period. Yeah, those Dark Templar are just absolutely super buff and really hard to react to as it is. Now it looks like they're going to be able to take it out, but not before they've already done quite a bit of damage. This High Templar still in the mix, so let's see. It looks like it's starting to move down towards the secondary now that the Hydralisks are all out of position. But still, able to drop there, storing themselves, able to get 2 drone kills, but not able to get anything else accomplished. The problem for LzGamer, it looks like he lost his shuttles as well, but the problem for LzGamer is he's still running off 1 base essentially right here. This would be a great situation if he was at 3 bases, because he did some good economic damage, but otherwise he's not able to get economically ahead with the harassment he's doing. He's not able to get that really large troop ball like he wanted. He's still somewhat contained because he's got that troop out of the position. Looks like he mined out his own back edge. He's going to start taking his mineral only with the troops pushing out in the field, doing pretty well for upgrades, but Machine not far behind, so getting a little bit of Storm on his own Speed Zealots here. And a lot of Hydralisks and some Lurkers pushing in position, and LzGamer gonna have to retreat. He's still got this roving army out in the field, which is providing a little bit of trouble. Might end up losing that Archon, and now moving them all to Lurkers. So a very, very heavy Lurker attack here from Machine. He's still in a great economic position with the 4 bases. Looks like he was able to resaturate his main fairly quickly, and again, still running at 4 bases essentially to 1 for quite some time there. So LzGamer, what he's going to need to do is just take 2 quick expansions and try to hold out, I think. Maybe even take an additional expansion on top of this and just hope that his army can hold out in the meantime to try to get back into this. Machine looks like he's going to seal that lower 3 o'clock and take the economic lead, or just kind of cap that economic lead. And yeah, he's going to be in a great tech position, a great supply position. A couple Lurkers unburrowed, though, hang out in the middle of the field. Those 3 are not going to be along for life against this large an attack force. But right now we're seeing a lot of Hydralisks. Looks like some Scourge in the mix to try to snipe that Observer. 1 Observer sniped, 2nd Observer sniped, and now they're detectionless, and it doesn't look like they have any Psystorm to work with, so they're going to have to back off all of these Lurkers. This is looks like a creep got nailed there in the mix here. This is that classic Zerg attack, is just knock out the Observers and then let your Lurkers do the talking afterwards. Backing off. LzGamer at the very least is getting some wins out of this, because he's able to cap that upper 3 o'clock. Going to have his mineral only running as well. Looks like, and this is where he's kind of hurting, is in big macro, not producing the probes, not transferring the probes just yet. In his main, actually just now transferring the probes in his main, completely empty here. Has a pretty good supply count, actually, considering, but Machine is not going to be too far behind. He's probably, doesn't look like he's pushing to Hive Tech, so he's going to stick to Lurker Ling combination, just go for the Lurker Swarm route probably ultimately and throughout the game. Just play heavy that route, but he's just, it looks like he managed to get a drop of his own. No probes to catch here, but he might be able to take out that observatory. Let's see if LzGamer is able to respond. Still this Lurker that was hanging out, I think that's actually dropped recently, so it looks like this Overlord dropping over this corner here. might be able to plant here. Some troops just wandering right by it, and Machine getting a little bit lucky here, putting it a little too close. So it looks like it's ended up getting Psystormed and killed by the cannon. A little bit of unnecessary Psystorm right there. But Machine got a pretty good purview of everything that's going on. Looks like LzGamer did manage to again get that upper 9 o'clock. But 4 bases versus 5, a large army in the way, a lot of gas. You can see all the minerals, a lot of minerals in Machine's bank, and now teching to Hive. So yeah, really good position for him. The upgrade's not continuing. He really needs level 2 weapons. It looks like level 2 weapons was somewhat delayed. Looks like level 2 armor somewhat delayed as well. Trying to run his army around, and really, I think this is the best opportunity for LzGamer. I don't think he's in a great position to attack here, but he really needs to attack, maybe take out a base, maybe take out 2 bases, and try to slow Machine down at this stage, and try to stop him before he hits that high tech, before he gets kind of the crack Zergling upgrade, run around with that huge Protoss ball, and do a lot of damage. Machine actually very troop light. He's got a lot of lurkers here at the 9 o'clock, but and I don't see any observers in the mix here. Only 2 High Templar as well to try to clear that out. Actually, 1 observer here. So LzGamer actually going to try to reposture, but this is another difficulty. Is again, Destination not a very good map for a lot of mobility play like this. Python probably would have been better. I know that LzGamer doesn't like Python very much as a map, but still, yeah, very difficult. Looks like that observer nothing to pick off that observer, so it is going to stay in play. Going to be able to clean this up, but continuous amounts of Zerglings are going to be able to flood through. Looks like most of the Zealots have been taken care of, and I think Hive Tech, yeah, it is up. Should have Swarm online in not too long. Still a lot of lurkers just kind of hanging out all over that lower 3 o'clock to prevent that. And Machine, yeah, just through this constant attrition troops, he's picking off a little bit of a time, which is exactly what he needs to do. He's got a really large Zealot army force, but he should be able to just produce a ton of Zerglings and take out what's left, because there's just not a lot of Zealots here in the mix. Just needs to produce a buttload of Zerglings and just work out the rest of these Dragoons. But still a really nice mass amount. So these Zerglings not very effective because they're kind of coming in piecemeal. Finally, a larger grouping running up of troops, lurkers in combination with Zerglings. Still that observer in the field. Dragoons actually do pretty well against lurkers, not as well against the Zerglings. It looks like an Archon morphing here in the background, but still not gaining any ground here. LZ has a really large army that's holding here. Finally, the Zerglings running up. Looks like just hatching and starting to get the surround in on those Dragoons. They're just getting pummeled, and LZ needs to pull this army back. He needs to hold this. He needs to conserve this. This is the army he either needs to win with or die with, essentially. He needs to do some damage, and right now he's just getting held back and slowly picked off bit by bit by bit. And this is more beneficial for Machine because he can replenish his army much faster than LzGamer can. Especially, that's the standard Protoss versus Zerg way. Storming his own observer, unfortunately, still has 2 observers out in the mix, but you can just see the continuous amount of Zerglings streaming through, and it's just a constant onslaught. The Dragoons getting thinner and thinner, more Zerglings coming out, finally some Zealots coming in to try to support here, but a much thinner, much smaller army. I do believe that Filer, the Swarm is up, Consume not quite up online, and as soon as, once there's Swarm here, those Dragoons going to be completely neutralized, going to have a really difficult time pushing in any sort of attack, and LzGamer is going to be in a really devastating position. Machine's still holding off, though, bit by bit. I actually thought he would have killed this army by now, but LzGamer, fortunately, having to wait to replenish his Zealot force and trying to clean up the kind of forces around here before he crosses the bridge. And Ultralisks actually in play as well. It's kind of looks decided to put in Ultralisks in the mix. He is going to be able to take out this base, but it's going to be a base sacrifice. He's probably going to end up trapping his entire army on a counterattack from Machine. He's got a lot of Ultralisks here. He's just probably just content to let him take out that base, turn around and pin it in. It looks like a couple bases running here for LZ, but yeah, Machine, just a nice Ultralisk army. He's going to have the Filers out patiently, just waiting. Again, I think he's just happy to allow that base to go down in exchange for producing a large amount of troops in a great position. Here's a huge Ultralisk army moving out. Looks like he does have the armor upgrade. Level 2 weapons is online, but I expect these Ultralisks to just roll over these Dragoons, even with these 2 Archons in the mix. Getting pinned into this corner. They have no retreat, so it's here or die. There's the Swarm, and ouch. Yeah, LzGamer going to end up losing this entire army, which is devastating. He has nowhere to retreat to. It looks like he's retreating actually uphill a little bit into that lurker pin trap here in the corner. Only 2, actually not a lot of lurkers there, only 2. So able to save some of his army here, but still losing an entire army like that's absolutely devastating, particularly late game against a Zerg with a lot of bases to work with. Machine at 140 supply. It looks like LzGamer now diminished to just 120. LZ hoping to take another expansion, try to even things out. Machine taking another expansion in the meantime. But now Machine in a great position. If he just decides to attack right now, actually that front door, LZ's being so aggressive, he doesn't have anything to defend really. He's tried to let his offense be the entirety of his defense here, and it looks like that is exactly what Machine is headed up to do. He knows